Nobody talks about this manga, and I think I know why. Have you ever dreamt of being a hero like Deku? And then maybe, here's where I'm gonna lose a lot of people. Mix that with the side effect, every time a girl touches you, you come. Well, in Rising X Rydeen, this story, you'll get a mix of anime X-Men and a generic harem anime, kind of. And mix that with porn, and that's what you get. PSA, hey, if you're always grabbing your thing, this is not going to be the itch for you. But if you're looking for something wacky, you're going to have to take a seat. It's going to get crazy. After reading this manga since 2014, so over 10 years, and being a stupid kid, and the manga would just update once a week or something like that, and I just forget about it because it only has 29 chapters. Too many at the time, my brain mush. Now that I'm older and wiser, I decided to read one of the etchiest, most dumb. I wouldn't recommend this manga to anyone, waste of time, unless you're a gooner. And then this is awesome because you fucking get it. I had a fucking brain wipe. I thought his powers was something like wind or something. I didn't know it was coming at first. I thought it was just gel because you're so young. I mean, they're rubbing their tits on him. Of course he's gonna. But besides that, I remember thinking, this is actually a pretty good manga. And I was just getting into the harem genre. It didn't seem that bad. I just came off of watching Full Monogamous Brotherhood. And then I ended up reading this, and wow, was I surprised. This is nothing like I've read so far. It wasn't like Full Monogamous Brotherhood. It was more like this. And this was amazing, especially at the time. But now, reading this over 10 years later, I have a way different perspective. If you stay to the end, you won't believe how this manga ends. Very different from how it begins. And believe it or not, it gets even worse than you can even imagine. Let's go. Half a century ago, the first strange humans were born. Basically X-Men but Japanese and with way more questionable, not much to leave for the imagination type of outfits. Some use these powers to save people. Others use it for the worst thing imaginable. They use it to start OnlyFans or commit war crimes. There was no in between. When Takara was 8 years old, he met a girl named Mikan. She was, or at least appeared to be, 12 years old. She was older, wiser, and probably didn't notice he existed. But Takara fell in love immediately. Peak simp origin story. Fast forward, he is now a dorky teenager who thinks watching Dragon Ball Z 600 times makes him a Super Saiyan. Spoiler, it doesn't. Who has tried that before? Raise your hand. Leave a comment down below. I've watched it 1,000 times, and nope, I've never been able to use Kamehameha. He has watched many disturbing videos of people with power doing nasty stuff online, and he decides enough is enough, I'm gonna stop them. Using what? I don't know. He has no powers. But wait, remember that one anime where the main dude gets the strongest power because he cried loud enough in front of a buff guy? Yeah, Takara's banking on that same level of plot armor. Then, boom, a car almost hits him. He's about to go full Karen on his driver until he sees them. The driver has boobs, big ones. Anime level, gravity-defying chest cannons. And with that, he falls in love once again. Turns out she's not just stacked. She has something really important to tell him. Guess what? You do have powers. And also, you're getting kidnapped. That's just what the organization does. And crazy enough, it's legal. Who kidnaps him? Aria Kurumu Eleanor Walter, lab chief at the government-approved Stranger Disaster Prevention Office. Bad driver, worst role model, but she shows her panties every other scene. So this manga is not bad, if that's what you're looking for. Once they get to the lab, she gives Takara some pills, not for anxiety. Nope. These are power detector enhancers, or some sci-fi bullshit. He takes them and boom, he feels it. Wind surging through him like he's channeling the wind in every deodorant commercial, saying that it's going to blow away the smell. Yeah, right. People still smell like shit with that deodorant. But he does not have wind. His real power? Sticky white gunk shoots out of his hands, and he releases it when he gets excited. It's exactly what you think. Yep, it's jizz. At least for now. When they start testing him, he releases so much of it, he's completely drained. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, until he sees Aria's tits again, and he's right back up. I mean, he's not the only thing that's back up, you know what I mean? I mean, he feels really good after seeing her, but that's before realizing all his shit got wrecked. We're just gonna call his power jizz gel for now. Who knows, maybe this gel is going to turn to some all-for-one, one-for-all type power-up later. For now, he's going to throw hands at some rando in the Thunderdome. And this rando, full of Chinibyo energy. She's got fire powers, but it looks like her powers are very weak. Her finger can turn into a sad birthday candle flame. And it has a downfall. She can't control it for shit. She almost lights herself on fire and kills herself. So since she's burned to death, what does she do? She screams for help. Help! And who puts her out? Takara puts her out. One jizz on her face, comes. But then she starts crying because she's never been cummed on and it actually looks and feels like jizz. That would fucking traumatize anyone. But this is an ecchi manga, so it's fucking hot. And now she's ready to give up the match because he finished on her. Psych. She was just waiting for him to turn around so she can burn his dick off. Well, she didn't see this coming. Takara's built different. He can come from anywhere. He already jizzed on the ground 3 times or more. So she ends up slipping on it and so does he. And then there's a beautiful scene. This is going to go down in the history books of ecchi manga. In the process of slipping on his cum, he grabs her titty. But wait, we're not done yet. He heads to the showers and boom, she's already naked in there. I mean, are we still reading a manga or is this like a hentai or something? Fun is over. Now it's time for Takara to go home. But how? He doesn't drive. He gets a limo, of course. Fuck the cars. He's rich now. Before he dips, he gets his hero grade. Highest grade possible is an A. What does he get? An E. Makes sense. He's ugly, dorky, and weak. You can't really save people when you're getting your face smashed in. Then in school the next day, everyone finds out he's a stranger now. And suddenly, they avoid him more than usual. Like it's 2019 to 2020 and he has COVID-19 or something. But does Takara care? Nope. He thinks he's Spider-Man or something. And just when he thinks life couldn't get better, it's pretty chill, it gets fucking crazy. A transfer student walks in, she's hot, crazy, but honestly, she's diabolical. She sits right next to Takara because, of course, they've got history. Now she's making him her bitch on day 1, and he can't even say no because she's way stronger than him. Turns out there's way more strangers at this school than anyone thought. Now the C rank girl shows up with the energy of she's gonna make everyone here her servant. Problem is, nobody's listening. Electric Mikan and Takara are way too busy talking about the past, arguing about who used to be whose bitch back in the day. Not many people know this, but Takara was one of the only people who didn't treat her like poop. He just wanted to fight her because he wanted to be top dog. But these men in black come out of nowhere and snatch her, and she disappears and no one knows where she went after that. Until now, and she's being bullied, which was a bad idea on the bully because the bully gets her ass clapped and Takara's face ends up in her pussy. But no one's even talking about that. Everyone's just looking at the ceiling like, yeah, I guess so. Anime logic. But Takara is not celebrating. He's low-key pissed. She's way stronger and he knows it. What does he do next? Go straight to the nurse's office? You would think that he's going to the nurse's office to get healed up. But no, he gets drained out. Bro comes all over her in broad daylight. No plot. Just straight up, they call the police. So Takara wakes up and he's grabbing boobs, casual, no explanation. His parents don't even flinch. Doesn't even flinch. Bro could have been clapping cheeks last night and they'd be like, proud of you, king. Aria shows up. She's trying to date a minor, but it's manga, so who cares about laws? Plot armor over legal armor, I guess. Aria explains how she's building a team. Not just any team, an elite squad of absolute idiots. 1, Takara, the cum master. Sanagi, rich, annoying, probably smells like leather seats. Yawabi, girl who's been jizzed on like 3 times and just keeps showing up anyway. Together, these clowns are supposed to be the new stranger police. Normally, to be a police, you'd need training, qualification, basic human decency, but apparently if you glue 3 losers together, they equal 1 functioning adult. And how does Takara celebrate? Come in there on everyone. And that's not even the weirdest part of this manga. Buckle up, we're just getting started. Their first mission, capture these victims. Except these victims are basically animal gajinkas. One's a monkey, one's a frog, but with abs, anime logic. So what's the plan? Easy. This C-rank girl rolls up, acting like she's him, bringing out her superpower insect, ready to slice these 2 like sushimi, and then boom! Gorilla Foot kills her most strongest summon, and truly like a bug, it gets stomped on in less than 1 frame. At the same time, another professional team rolls in. Same goal. Problem is, this ape is built like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure reject. Just rips the girl's clothes right off. Half her outfit gone. It nearly turns the show into a fucking hentai. Does that work? Nope. Turns out, they're gay. They don't want her, they just want to mess around with the boys. Absolute bros. They Team Rocket blast off mid-posing, so now everyone's gone except Takara and this gorilla ape who's staring him down. But who saves the day? Electric Mikan. Out of nowhere, bzzz, insta-death, fastest kill ever you've seen. And the camera angle, of course. We gotta get that perfect straight shot of her underwear. Why? No reason. Just fan service. It's mandatory in Shonen now. Peak writing. So now the frog wants a piece of Electric Mikan. Bad choice, buddy. Why? Because he's about to get cooked like a gas station hot dog. You don't fight Pikachu with Politoed, do you? You'll fucking lose. He pulls a full Borat, I'll fight you. Not. Runs away. Didn't matter anyway. Mikan rips her leggings off. No reason, just because she's sexy. probably for aerodynamics. It doesn't matter how fucking far he gets, she uses Volt Tackle and she runs all the way over there and lights him on fire. Boom! Convicts defeated, easy dub. But of course, Aria comes strolling out like she timed it for dramatic effect. Mikan almost lost that one. Maybe she should join a team with the rest. And she's not having it. She's fucking mad. She doesn't want to be on a team. She doesn't care about hero work. She just wants to live her life without random frogs trying to punch her in the throat. After thinking about it, she agrees to it, but someone has to beat her up first. If not, you have to shut up and she gets to leave forever. Classic tsundere behavior. Difficult, aggressive, low-key kind of hot. High maintenance. Alright, so now it's time for them to strategize how they're going to take down Electric Mikan. But there's a problem. They have no powers. Meanwhile, she can turn her arms and legs into literal lightning. One touch, you're cooked. You're gone, dead, deleted, insert window shutdown sound. But why is she called Electric Mikan? Good question. Back in elementary school, she loved mandarins. Obsessed. One day at lunch, she finally gets one. Happy as hell. And by accident, she burns it to a crisp. Whole table smell like regrets and citrus. She's been called Electric Mikan ever since. But this isn't just for fun and games. Aria's worried. If Mikan stays alone too long, she might literally accidentally shock herself to death. Like imagine falling asleep and tasing yourself into oblivion. Yep, not exactly what you want to do when you're super comfortable in your bed. If she ever overloads her powers, she's done. No respawns, no healing items, just a fried girl. So Takara's like, bet, time for a training arc. Insert Eye of the Tiger. Doon, 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 doon. Boom, boom, boom. Unfortunately, zero progress. Meanwhile, Mikan wears special socks and gloves literally everywhere, even in the shower. Imagine being so electric you can take bubble baths wearing oven mitts. I'd lose my mind. Mikan's out here trying to de-escalate like an irrational adult. Let's not fight. Takara, nah, I want to kick your ass anyway. And out of nowhere, we get hit with the fan service. Her shirt barely holding on. This studio is really working on the cleavage physiques. And that is why Takara's jizzing everywhere. Every girl in this manga looks like a Final Fantasy character mixed with OnlyFans. Peak art, literature even. Alright, here's the plan. Yaobi's gonna pretend she can master the power of flames. Total bluff. Meanwhile, Mikan's supposed to actually fight her even though she's very weak. But you did not see this coming. A cockroach decides to land right on Mikan's face, and guess what? She's terrified of bugs. Classic weakness. But what they didn't expect is Mikan accidentally steps on the cockroach and squishes it like a boss. Just when they think it's all good, Takara suddenly tackles her, shirtless of course, slipping and sliding everywhere like an idiot on a banana peel. Takara's clumsy antics results in him slipping and getting gel everywhere. Gel on her face and clothes, very hot. Yeah, but honestly, this dude's the disaster magnet of the century. Now, Mikan's pissed. She unleashes a massive shockwave trying to kill them all. But Takara's weird special gel armor absorbs like 95% of the shock. Electric Mikan versus Sticky Takara. Who will win? Spoilers, Takara's still standing. Both ways. Takara pulls a wild move and drops a cinnamon swirl finishing move that basically seals the deal. You don't see that in everyday shonen battles. GG's. Although Mikan almost fried him to death. So Mikan's very worried. She runs all the way to his hospital room and surprise, he's wide awake and he's flexing like he just won a world championship. Not only that, but he brags that she's officially on his team now. And get this, he's even got her to apologize for nearly frying him. Smooth move. Not bad, Takara. Not bad. Meanwhile, up in the rooftop, Aria's noticing something weird. Takara's powers totally gone. No clue why, but the suspense is killing everyone. Then we get his backstory. Takara wanted to be a stranger because he remembers seeing one on the news. Hated just for being a stranger. But that didn't stop him. No way. He's here to save people no matter what anyone says. I'm here, he says. Fast forward a couple of pages because of course he accidentally trips, grabs Mikan's giant tits and creams himself again. Yep, powerful shit. Classic. And here's the crazy thing. Aria's dad had a plan to put all these hot girls together because they're horny men, they want to see them fuck. But what they didn't see coming is a boy snuck in there and he's just as horny and their age. Electric Mikan was about to capture the villain until her epic speech went way too long. You know, the one where she says she's gonna save the world and it doesn't matter blah 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 blah. Meanwhile, Takara has had enough. So what does he do? He sprints over and without warning jizzes all over her face and everywhere you can think of to remind everyone who really is the leader here. Bold move, Takara. Bold move. Spoiler alert, the mission was a total disaster. They couldn't coordinate to save their lives. 0 points, nothing. Aria did not hold back. She yelled at them for being slow, sloppy, and acting like dumbasses. But after hashing it out, they finally agree. No more being dumbasses. From now on, they're a team. Sure, a team. And just when they think things can't get crazier, they hear new members joining. Everyone's expecting another awkward geek obsessed with some idol. The ones have no girlfriends, but they keep random girls they'll never talk to on their phone. But nope, it's the girl herself, it's the idol. And rumor has it, she already got a massive crush on Takara. Things are gonna get a little interesting. Fast forward, Takara finally lands a date with Ruri, and things get real wild quick. He discovers her power. She can rewind time 5 seconds to fix any mistakes. Yes, 5 seconds might not sound like a lot, but if you get shot, she can rewind it. If you're about to hit a car with your own car, she can rewind it before you've hit, so you can turn. It's a pretty good ability. Meanwhile, Electric Mikan's watching from the sidelines, and yep, she's definitely jealous. Ruri's way too close to Takara and it's driving her nuts. There's another cop on the scene, a dude this time. There is no chance he's going to join because only girls are accepted beyond this point. You must be this tall to ride. Ah, so close, you're too tall. After that, Takara's convinced this is fate, because he literally bumps into a girl walking to school with a toast in her mouth. Classic manga romance moment. And he's ready for this. He thinks it's gonna be like a shoujo, but he accidentally trips and bumps, and 2 girls land on him. And it gets even crazier. One girl starts riding him while he's busy eating out the other. Yeah, save that one for later. This is not a hentai, I swear. Aria is very upset. Something's off about the idol girl hanging around Takara, especially given his power to come on people. I don't think most girls would like that. Could she be part of the government spy, like Aria thinks, or is she just disgusting and she likes cum on her face and her mouth? Aria starts grilling Ruri hard, trying to sniff out if she's an outlaw. Turns out, Ruri's clean. But she's no fool. She knows Aria's hiding something too. It starts to get very dramatic, but they cut it there. Then we find out Ruri's got backup, a mysterious hero of justice tied to Eden, the government who's kinda shady, controlling strangers. Meanwhile, Takara officially becomes a superhero with a shiny grade D badge. Yeah, that's just one step above total garbage. Today's mission, the library, because apparently reading is the secret to leveling up your powers. There, they dive into 2 wild theories, the stranger disease theory and the mankind disease theory. No joke, it's time to get serious. Listen. Basically, TLDR, too much power, you get a crippling debuff. Too little power, you just stay weak. Then Takara drops a bomb on them. He's a rare species. He's not like the rest. Aria gets a warning from the suits. There's another A-rank stranger on the loose, and things are heating up. Strangers are being treated like prisoners now. Aria has no choice. She calls up Takara and his whole harem. This isn't just a test anymore. It's war. When Takara hears that one of the enemies is a 10-year-old with wind powers, he's heated. Why does this kid get the cool anime powers? He wanted those. That's my power, he would yell. Like a true shonen protagonist, he needs those powers. But he knows he can't complain right now. He needs to beat the fuck out of that 10-year-old. Soniki's insects go scouting and they find her. This kid's no joke. She nearly knocked Takara out cold with one hit of compressed air. And then it gets much worse for him because another enemy appears suddenly called the Golden Lion King and he's ready to fuck Takara up. But hold on, weirdly his power is just making light, so he can't attack, right? Wait until he moves. Turns out this really buff lion guy knows martial arts. He's fast, precise, and deadly. That's how he's been beating strangers. Takara dodges strikes after strike, barely holding on. I don't know how he's doing that, but I guess it was that "I am the tiger." While things are looking bad, finally, Electric Mikan arrives. Things are finally turning in their favor. Or not. Trap trigger, Takara gets caught mid-step, rope trap, classic. And it gets worse. That useless power Golden Lion King had, it can absorb Mikan's lightning. Her strongest attacks, completely useless now. That's it, they lose. There's nothing else they can do. Ruri steps out of the shadows. Maybe, just maybe, she's here to save the day. Her plan, kinda stupid and just maybe you don't want to read this. She shoves Takara into the villain's tits and she starts going up and down like a penis and comes on her. That embarrasses her and then they knock her out. But things get even more messy. The lion, turns out the whole absorbing lightning thing was a sham. It was an illusion all along. The lion was never the threat it seemed. Ruri, ruthless and unbothered, finishes the job cold. No mercy. Unfortunately, the team fails the mission, but they don't get a hard talking to. Failure tastes bitter, especially for Mikan, who's crying in the corner. She's never failed before. That was supposed to be easy, she thinks. Mikan runs away and no one knows where to find her except Takara. Before Takara opens the door to help her, he sees that Ruri's already there, and I think she might have an agenda. But for now, it looks like she's just a friend who's willing to hear her story out. She tells Ruri that she's been locked inside that hellhole facility since she was a kid. She was trained to have her powers become so strong, and she didn't even want them, she hates them. But people around her keep clapping, saying she's gonna become a hero and how strong she's gonna be. Just wait until someone sees you. So she had to pretend she liked it. And it becomes story time because Ruri also has a story to tell her. She got her time powers when she was 5. Even though it's only 5 seconds, her dad hated strangers, her parents split, and now she lives with her mom. And you can imagine that she hates her powers the most. Her mom never treated her like she was different than any other kid. She loved her no matter what. But when she turned 12, a bunch of strangers ended up killing her mom. And she tells her to suck it up, Buttercup. At least you have friends who actually care for you. And that fixes everything. That's exactly what she needed. She needed a slap of knowledge to get the fuck up. Meanwhile, the whole world's going batshit. But she's joined some cult called Rebirth, and they've taken a goddamn Ma hostage. One guy's already dead. They said they're going to kill someone in the next hour if no one shows up. At that point, they realize they need a scapegoat, a bargaining chip. Mikan steps forward since she failed the last mission. She wants to take responsibility. She votes for herself to go in. But before anyone can stop him, the number 1 gooner steps up. He'll take the hit. That's actually the smartest play. Why? Because the criminals, they're just like him. All bark, low-level thugs who bite off more than they can chew. They don't know what they're doing, they're just scared. Takara knows this, and he's going to use it to his advantage. He can talk their language. He can buy time, create the perfect distraction. Then when the crew moves, fast, easy, destructive. So when they strike, the hostages are free. And Takara's loving this. It's Takara and Mikan versus the other team. They're fighting their hearts out on the battlefield, but the truth is, they're destroying themselves. Every attack misses, every plan backfires. Why? Takara already hit them with the gel. They don't even realize it yet, but it's messing with their bodies, throwing off their balance, making their own moves rebound. But that's not the real problem. The real threat is the Wind Child. She's not playing games anymore. She unleashes Cyclone, her ultimate technique. The whole area turns into a screaming vortex of air, slicing through everything like blades. Takara knows this trick. He's a dork. Find the center, the eye of the storm is calm. So Takara charges forward, fighting the wind, forcing his way in, and just as he reaches the center, he releases everything, gel everywhere, jizz sprayed into the core of the cyclone. And I don't know the legality here, but the wind sprays all the jizz on the Wind Child. And that's when most people are confused. Mikan ends up shocking him instead of the villain. You got the wrong person! But the plan still works. The electricity rides through the gel, frying the Wind Child's mid-spin. The cyclone collapses in on itself, and that's the end of the fight! They won! Or so they think. Then he shows up, Ruri's boyfriend. Looks just like Mikan, but stronger, colder, and he's so cocky with a great smile saying he knows how to beat them. And the worst thing is, he's right, he's really strong. Takara tries to fight him, but he almost kills him on the spot. If it wasn't Mikan pretending to be a shield, almost killing her, he would be definitely dead. She collapses, bleeds out, and barely starts breathing. So they run her to the emergency room right away. Before they go, Ruri somehow heals them a little bit, enough for their lungs to keep pounding air into them. And it gets much worse because all the low-level criminals, the ones who's been watching from the shadows, now they think Takara's weak, so they're gonna try to get a piece of him. They don't realize one thing. Takara's at his most dangerous when he's broken. This blondie used to be Takara before Takara, and he figured out that this position was stupid, so he left. He doesn't care what would happen. He'd even fight God to leave this place. Takara goes and fights a group of villains, and he was ordered not to, but he doesn't give a fuck. He wants to get really strong so he can beat everyone to protect Mikan. These outlaws get a fistful of his cum, and the trans get it too. He doesn't discriminate. But the boss likes the redhead girl, and that was Takara's cue to run away. After being embarrassed of her weak powers, another mysterious little girl appears. So Yaobi gets on gear, and now she has true Chinibyo powers. And she's here to fight this ugly bitch and send her face to hell. Now she's squeezing her tits because she's turned on by Takara, and her favorite girl is there. Mikan's back in the game. Yaobi has the ability to burn anything she looks at. Ruri's their opponent, and she's fucked, completely cooked. But then, plot twist, she thinks she's smart. What does she do? She stands next to gasoline, looks at Takara dead in the eyes, and pulls the anime equivalent of, "If I can't win, nobody can," and blows the whole building sky high. But what the problem is, Yaobi's built different. Her own flames barely touch her. She is not the same girl she used to be. But before that, we're going to reminisce on her almost getting raped and Mr. Hero saving her. Maybe the word's not reminiscing, it's remembering. And Mr. Hero shows up once again to save her life. But he's not the only one that shows up. Takara's back, with a ripped shirt and he's ready to fuck some shit up. It's about to get nasty. Now Toya's done playing games. He's officially decided Yaobi's an outlaw, which means delete order active. No hesitation, no mercy, he's about to kill her. And at the same time, Yaobi's still rambling about eliminating Takara's enemies like she's even able to beat Toya. But before any of that, Takara has to say the same bullshit every main character has to say, talks about friendship, how you don't have no shit about friendship. And surprisingly, Toya hits him back with the opposite. You don't know what friendship is, bitch. And this whole time, Yaobi was being possessed by her power. She couldn't stop burning things. But then the chaos lets go and she faints. Toya automatically thinks, now's my chance to kill her. But Takara's ready to defend her. He's got the cum, he's got the crazy powers, he's got his gaslighting words that probably affect him mentally. But Takara's fighting fucking Bakugo. He's so fast, much faster than he even thought about. So it looks like they're going to lose, unfortunately. And even though Mikan shows up to save the day, she's on her last legs. 2 zaps left in the tank, as she's barely standing and breathing like she's been carrying the whole anime on her back. Fortunately, Takara steps up and becomes the actual main character. And right when it looks like everything's about to go sideways, boom, plot twist. Remember how at the beginning I said, for now, his powers are going to be like that? Well, his powers just evolved. Now his cum absorbs energy, not just blocks it, eats it. Electricity, fire, hatred, gone. And on top of that, he can slide on it. He slows down Toya, and he moves so quickly, he knocks him out with one punch, lights out, weak as hell. Run away, Saitama. He's the new One Punch Man. Both Toya and Ruri, straight to jail. Pack it up. No more talking. Off you go. But when I said that this was going to change a lot at the end, here it is. Here's the plot twist. Aria, the big titty lady, was playing this the whole time. Every single villain in this story was just a piece of Aria's game board. Takara's entire journey controlled from a screen on someone's phone. And now the real game begins. Yaobi is an official A-lister now. She doesn't want this, the fame, the power, the clout. She just wants to be stupid in peace, eat junk food, watch bad TV shows, be left alone. Real, classic manga. A world where you can get jizzed on mid-fight and still somehow about friendship. But the peace does not last. That night Takara finally goes home, thought maybe, just maybe, he'd earn a break. Nope, TV's on, and who's there? Aria. Now she's fully in a villain mode. Black uniform, villain fit, custom tailored, on live broadcast, talking some crazy shit, saying shit like, either you understand this world's going to be run by strangers, or get out of the way and die. After hearing the word die, Takara just stares at the screen, no blinking, no comments. He just knows it's going to get ugly. So later that day, he meets another girl from his classroom who isn't a stranger, but her whole point is to prove that strangers are not bad to the world by live streaming. How convenient. Now, if you look at the comment section, it's such realistic comments that you'd see on Reddit or even sometimes on YouTube. Turns out they actually saved her life back at the mall, so she feels like she owes them one. But then, while they're outside, they get trapped, ambushed. Every single stranger they've ever fought pulls up like it's a reunion special. Mikan was just trying to tackle Froggy there and somehow triggered a whole boss rush. Now they're in a pickle. And of course they're outnumbered. 20v5 does not look good. But right when it looks very terrible, if it's going to end the series here, Toya shows up, and with his strength, that's enough to even out the odds. So you might be asking, how did Toya get out of jail? Turns out the higher-ups at Eden pulled strings. Why? Because Toya's not regular. He doesn't know just any average Joe. Doesn't care about the streets. He only knows the top. He only handshakes the wealthy and the knowledgeable. And everyone else can fuck off. Plus, the government hates Aria too and is willing to let him out to kill her. Since he's free now, he has no one else to tell him what to do. He tells Takara, I was lying, it was all bullshit. You can be a hero if you believe it. And since it's almost coming to an end, he says, I actually believe in friendship since you showed me friends are real. And then it gets crazier because after that, we see the person who gave Yaobi her powers. She's not just strong, she's broken. She can literally use Protect from Pokemon. I'm talking full barriers, no damage, quit the game out of anger. And who's fighting Aria? The only person who can. Takara. But then out of nowhere, Takara stops before he even attacks her. She has changed clothes, and for some reason, that scares everyone. She has hit her final form, and Takara tries to tell her that she just quit this shit, it's not worth it, someone's gonna kill her. And she refuses, so it's time to punch her in the face and make her understand. She wants to be the villain. She wants to make strangers look like good people. So because she let them out of jail, and she's the reason why they're out of jail, she looks like the villain the whole time. I'm not sure that's how that works. Aria can knock Takara out very fast, and he's definitely not going to win this one, and even the goddess comes and helps her, so it's GG's there. She said if the goddess can defeat Takara here, she'll never have to work again, and she could be lazy for the rest of her fucking life. But before they even fight, they talk about life and how they didn't find how to help strangers not become the villain of this world. And this is going to shock you, get ready for this, Mikan likes Takara. What? And the crowd doesn't go wild! With Yaobi's superpowers, she burns through the protection, and Mikan goes over there and gives the guys a big slap in the butt. Oh, we can hear it from all the way over here. Personally, probably the best scene in the whole manga. And if you're asking what Aria's powers are, it's just physical strength. There's not really any powers to it. The only good thing that happened was Takara's classmate was filming the whole thing. Aria looks like a fucking villain, and everyone's gonna believe the strangers aren't that bad. It was Aria's fault the whole time. And it was also live streamed, so everyone was seeing this while it was happening, so there's no lying here. And for some reason at the end, they tell us that Aria and Mikan have been friends since elementary school. While Takara and his harem defeat her verbally, the government literally wants to kill her. There's an assassin who's gonna murder her right now. But Takara has a plan. He says, if you even try to kill her, I'll jizz all over you. And he's been storing that jizz up for days, so you know it's gonna be raw and tons of it. But out of nowhere, Mikan zaps him in the dick and he releases all the jizz. This is being live streamed and everyone's saying, wow, so hot. All that jizz. Awesome. At the end of the day, they decide to lock up Aria instead of killing her. Not sure how they convinced the assassin to not kill her still, but okay. Months pass, and while Aria's in jail, Takara's team is out there saving the world, being strangers, and not being weird. Kind of. And honestly, that was a lot of jizz.